Welcome back to the channel, handsome viewers. It's Voidhammer time, and it's June. As promised, Creative Assembly have delivered more information at the PC Gaming show that aired, I think, just yesterday. I saw bits and pieces, haven't watched the entire reveal or developer interview, as they say here, for the Total War Warhammer 40k content that we've been so eagerly anticipating. So I thought it'd be fun to do a quick live react, brutal raw first impressions of this, first look at, further details of 40k. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. To say I'm excited would be an understatement. Let's just do it, man. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm just going to go through the entire trailer, watch the entire thing, take it in, let it, fill my veins with its glory. Or maybe it's not going to be glorious. I don't know. I haven't seen much feedback on this yet. And then we'll maybe pause, go through the video, look at some stills, play some of the gameplay stuff that we see, and have a chat about it, guys. I'm excited. Let's begin. Warning, this video contains visuals that may trigger those with...
There is no peace amongst
that looks
stars.
good.
There is only war.
Those are candles.
Total War Warhammer 40,000.
We'll talk about this later.
Like
very dramatic entrance.
We create authentic worlds.
Astro Militarum, the Orky boys going at it. I love it, man. That looks fantastic. Right off the bat, that looks sick.
Like us, we really love.
I'm impressed, man.
Games, painted minis. We want to insert you in that authentic universe. The galaxies. Everyone is fighting. There is no.
I'm getting Command and Conquer in 3D vibes.
But you, as a player, you will make the difference. And what's really unique about Total War
make the difference in what?
That whole universe.
That's old footage from the original reveal.
Faction across the stars, to the soldier fighting on the ground. Just
is that a commissar?
Survive another day. It's literally like being that armchair general.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm at the command of vast forces, doing big flanking maneuvers.
Oh yeah.
Doing the
Ogren,
like jumping over,
jumpy boys, nice. Assault Marines.
Of the enemy. And that's what's unique about it, is the scale.
That looks sick. I'm seeing blood. They're not gonna do like a blood DLC like previous games, which is awesome. It's gonna be, in a way, it's like it's gonna be designed with blood in mind, right? So hopefully the effects and all the blood stuff will just be good off the bat.
Want them to know everything. We have a brilliant onboarding experience.
We don't want them to know everything. I don't know everything there is to know about Warhammer, man. I'm so excited.
There was only one iconic location.
Yes,
we'll talk about that later.
The quintessential
Armageddon, okay.
The fight between humanity and orcs. They're like larger than life characters. Like one of my favorite ones is Yarrick. Yes, we will.
I feel like it fits. I feel like it fits, man.
We have Gazgul Fraka.
Show us more gameplay.
The War himself.
Yep.
But it's that journey that's going to be the interesting one.
Yes, the path to Armageddon. Yeah, the stakes are galactic, so you're going through between systems
like
to systems.
Events.
The end goal, at least for the Orc and the Imperium, is definitely Armageddon.
And Armageddon's certainly not where we're stopping. It's just the start.
Okay, so Armageddon's like their big set piece from the lore that they want to have as like a
details of the different world
notable location.
Are present in Warhammer
Hi, Kevin.
40,000. So we've got hive worlds.
Good work, Kevin.
Worlds,
looks amazing, Kevin.
Mining worlds, frontier worlds, and layered on top of that, we also have all of
that
the different
looks so
biomes.
much better than the original one they showed.
Icy mining worlds, arid mining worlds. Ultimately, what we've done is we have created a planet-making system. There's two things we want to do with the hive worlds. One, we want to make sure that the planets themselves look like.
I mean, that looks
hive
fantastic.
Worlds,
It looks sick.
We have huge cathedral, very much like we're in a cathedral here. Cathedral-like cities stretching into the sky, going through the clouds.
Take over the entire skybox. I don't know how many players feel about having all this stuff outside of the battle map that you can't actually engage with, but we got some what, Lehman Russ tanks or Baneblade tanks, I think they're called.
Staggering sort of architecture and scale and verticality, and then
their lighting is weird, hey. Creative Assembly have always had strange lighting in the Total War games. That looks good though. That's good lighting.
Lanes, cover zones.
We have some maps where your focus will be on sort of like navigating through.
I'm digging the way that they're engaging with the cover
to get a bit more sort of room to maneuver, or bring down a building on someone that's trucking along.
I mean, that looks like a spell from Warhammer, from Total War Warhammer 3. Like a
landing pads and sort of the scale is so
magic missile based spell, whatever you call them. I can see this working, man. It looks It looks good. It looks better than I thought it would, to be honest.
It's been a game about scale, right? You're from the bird's eye view above your empire down to the individual battlefield.
Right, he's staring at the loading screen. The game's busy loading.
You're fighting across a solar system, right? Imagine you're looking down at kind of your ship's bridge at the hololith that's displayed. You're now deciding which planet.
Oh, we saw some campaign stuff there.
Which regions should I conquer to give myself the most strategic advantage? Every decision you make as a player is not impacting.
Oh man, give us lots of sync kill animation stuff. They got to compete with Dawn of War 4 on that front. That looks cool. It needs more gore on little pieces of the orcs there, but it looks pretty sick.
The decisions you make,
the way everything just goes flying up like that, I think that's very sick.
The story itself and how
this is
that
old footage.
So even playing through with the same faction multiple times will yield a different experience for you as a player.
We want their strategic decision making to pull their forces through the game, but they will certainly encounter narrative events or the framing of why they're there, what their objectives are, how do they
I think
win. So
that's where we need to discuss things. Maybe that's where we'll focus on the chat now. That looks sick. That looks like a game I could spend a lot of time in, man.
You take a plant on a civilized world, they're probably going to get a boost to tank production. If you're orcs and you come across a world rich in scrap, that's probably going to help you build some stompers.
Come on, fire the big guns.
Than going to Agri World, for instance.
If you love Warhammer 40,000,
the chaplain.
We are bringing that to life in a way you will never have seen in any other
Psycho.
game that's been made. If you love your
Psychic
strategy
Storm.
gaming, right, in general, if you love your turn-based or real-time strategies, we've got you there as well.
That's a nice goal. Okay.
Wait to spend the next many years crafting
Sold.
the ultimate grimdark experience.
Explosions look great.
And you can help.
Apparently you must send this guy an email.
Which gets launched later this year.
Send Roger an email.
So
It's his primary form of communication.
And thank you again.
I don't think he believes in social media. I am. Off the bat, maybe it's just, coming down from the high or whatever, but that looks sick, man. That looks like everything I wanted it to look like, but that was never in question, right? I think we all knew that Creative Assembly would destroy it when it comes to the visuals and stuff, right? So let's turn this down and just have a squiz through here. So the one thing I wanted to make a video on this, but I never actually did, was the initial footage that we saw from the first reveal, the lighting. I think they had some of those scenes here. Like, I don't know, their lighting is just so inconsistent. Like this still, it looks a bit concept arty. Like this is very 2D decal type stuff in the background here, but am I going crazy? So yeah, in the original, they've mixed some shots up with the new footage that we've just experienced. The lighting here just looks off, right? It looks weird, and I think this is why so many people were calling it out and saying, "Oh, it looks bad, it looks terrible," and stuff like that. There's two components to this, right? First of all, obviously early development, alpha build, development in progress, as they say, but maybe they didn't get the time to light these shots correctly, or obviously not the assets aren't reflecting the light properly. I don't know what it is, but if you just compare these shots to the newer stuff that they've just shown, I mean, it's like, it nearly looks like two different games. This is so much better. And the other component is CA in general, especially with Total Warhammer 1, 2, and 3. The lighting has always been such a contentious, weird issue. You'll load up on a battle map and it will look great, right? Depending on the time of day and where the sun is and stuff, it'll look superb. But then you'll load up another map, maybe a dwarf sort of underground, sort of in the tunnels type map, or one of those notoriously bad ones, or the siege maps, or even sometimes the very first battle with Col France, right, in the literal Empire's lands. The lighting will just be so off and so awkward and so like flat and strange. So Creative Assembly have always kind of struggled with this. I mean, if you play Total War Warhammer 3 today, I would recommend you install one of there's a very popular lighting mod that fixes all of the stuff immediately, and it just makes the game so much more palatable. Lighting is a huge thing when it comes to 3D engines and games and stuff. It's there's a reason why if you go and look at the lighting section of a game, or the credits of a movie or something like that, there's teams and teams of people work on this stuff, right? So Creative Assembly have always been a bit weird with that. But I mean, ultimately, guys, if you look at this, I mean, it looks like Total War, and it doesn't look like, you can imagine these units going in for the flank, and you can imagine the tactics of Total War games sort of working in this environment. I don't think that there's a depending on the strength and how long units last for, right? Like there's always been this concept of like arcade of Total War games becoming more and more arcadey as time has gone on, right? And I think those conversations started happening around about the time of let's set this play in the background as we waffle on. Around about the time of Total War Shogun 2, people started to complain about it becoming a little bit arcadey. And if your average unit has the staying power to, you know, have sustained engagements, I don't think we're going to be having too much issues when it comes to this. And you'll, you know, allow players to implement their tactics without units just, you know, focus firing everything that exists, right? And allowing, you know, plays like this. I don't know. It's going to boil down to balance, I think, is what's going to make or break these things. And they cannot depend or rely on the modding community to create versions or, you know, extreme overhauls of 40k Total War to satisfy that, you know, what Total War players expect from a Total War game, right? Aside from that, man, this is just looking fantastic. I think the only other thing worth chatting about is, you know, they're talking about the context, narrative context to your battles and stuff like this from the campaign map. It really just boils down to variety, man. At the moment, you know, we've got confirmation that there is no procedurally generated maps and stuff like this. They're handcrafting all the maps, and then allowing them to sort of, I guess, rotate, right? You can start the matches east to west or north to west, or north to south. So that's going to add some variety, and then every single map is going to have, you know, biome theming, perhaps, call it that way. I think that, you know, they used the example of, oh, you don't get a, you know, arid wasteland map. You get this planet that has 6 potential biome applications to it, right, when it comes to like weather and all that type of stuff. Those two things combined, are we going to see enough variety? Because as I've said in my previous videos, man, it's going to get so exasperated, look, you know, playing across an entire galaxy wide map in 40k, and you're playing on the same maps over and over again. So I really hope that the variety and just the, you know, the map design and all this type of stuff is good enough to keep it feeling fresh, because, you know, otherwise they're digging themselves a hole. And it doesn't matter how much DLC and factions, and, you know, because they're going to go the same route as you know, Total War Warhammer 1 through 3. And you're just going to end up with so much cool content, the entire Warhammer, you know, universe fleshed out to this insane scale that apparently only Creative Assembly are capable of doing. But then you're going to be playing on the same maps over and over again, and that's just, oh man, that's painful, right? So hopefully they, maybe in, you know, a couple of patches time, I honestly do believe that like procedurally generating these things is the way to go. From a single player perspective, right? And from a multiplayer perspective, get those uniquely designed, balanced, perfectly curated maps for sure, 100%. But for single player, for you just, you know, you're bogging down the AI with your insane amounts of Space Marines and Ogrins and Astromilitarums, and, you know, you're going wild and you're doing your thing. Give us variety, right? Give us a sense of progression visually within the maps that you experience the game on, right? That's what I'm sort of talking about, right? Nothing will be more sort of demoralizing or map fatigue inducing than playing your first mission on a certain map, and then 30 missions later, you know, you're not 100 turns deep into a campaign, and you're playing on the same map that you started on, and it's, you know, I mean, come on, it's 2026, guys. Get with the program, right? Aside from all this, man, I don't know why, but I get such strong Command & Conquer vibes. It feels good. It feels, I mean, it doesn't feel good, but it looks good. The vibes I'm getting, check there is I think that's the cover system, right? It's like you're dragging your rank and file out, and they're sort of just adapting, right? And I think the responsiveness of how they adapt and how quickly the units just engage to these positions is going to make or break this system, right? It's got to be smooth and feel good and not sluggish, right? Like, I think that's the problem that I have personally with the feel of a lot of the previous sort of Warhammer games or Total War games, is that it's a lot of stickiness, right? And if they smooth this stuff out and just you know, it's all down to that individual unit pathing. If that is smooth and clean and snappy, I don't think that they can go wrong, man. But yeah, man, this is great. I'm probably gonna watch this trailer again at some point and you know, go through bits and pieces. I don't know if I'll be making another video on this just yet until we get sort of more content to talk about. So yeah, I mean, this just, it looks fantastic. It looks like Total War. I mean, it looks like Total War, and it looks like Warhammer. This is awesome. I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied. I cannot wait. It's all gonna now boil down to how Creative Assembly handle the balance and the systems of the game, and don't let these things rot for eternity and just malfunction and make no sense. And hopefully the game's just good. Right? That's what it all boils down to. Ladies and gentlemen, handsome viewers, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. It's been Voidhammer time. Cheers.